My name is Jill Behen, and I'm talking today about some of my experiences with the Jan Samwad Yatra in Madhya Pradesh. I joined the Yatra in Katni, which is in central Madhya Pradesh, on the 16th of May. And I've spent the last 30 days with it, going to different Jan Samwad, meeting different journalists and middle-class communities. And I found it a most interesting experience. My first observation was the large number of community workers that I saw in every meeting in the course of the 30 days that I was with the Samwad Yatra. There is clearly almost in every destination that we were in, women leaders organizing the logistics, organizing the presentations, organizing the proceedings, and with such confidence. And, you know, the reason that it's remarkable is you don't always see that in mainstream Indian society. So it was, I could give you many examples of the women leaders who are in the movement, who are galvanizing the small community struggles and the leaders into a large formation, a mass movement. You know, in so many places, because of the massive industrialization and the infrastructural development, people are being shunted off the land in a way that is unprecedented in this country. And when you see the misery of particularly mothers with their children without a way to feed their children, who are very poor agricultural laborers getting very small remuneration and trying to figure out how to survive, when you see that level of distress, it's extremely disturbing. I would like to say that the Samwad Yatra will continue for another 3 months, and I will come back again in a couple of weeks to join it till its end, and hoping that it will have a national impact before 100,000 people march to Delhi, because if it does not have some sort of national impact, it will be harder to gain the momentum that is needed by having so many poor people come together and make this action great. Of course, they need to see some advancement in their issue of land rights, because without that, their survival is under threat. And so we look forward to seeing more national interest, both from the middle classes, the political classes, and the media in supporting this very, very important initiative. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the international response. In the Geneva, Switzerland work, we will have 100,000 people in mid-September sit down and eat a meal in the spirit of good food, adequate food, food security, not only for the European peoples, but for Indian people. And this is to raise attention and interest in the Jan Satyagraha, which will start 2 weeks later. There is also at around the same time a march by the French, by a French delegation that will last for 15 days and that will travel through France, rallying people around the notion of land. As you know, in France, there's a very large organic movement, an anti-genetically modified food movement. And so many of those forces will come together, small farmers, political leaders, civil society, to be on a march of possibly a couple of hundred people over 15 days to also show solidarity to the march in India. So that's France. So we are working at the moment with Brazilian NGOs, civil society groups, social movements. We're working with Colombia in Latin America. We're working with Kenya and Senegal in East and West Africa, respectively. And we're working with Indonesia and some of the South Asian groups in Asia to have simultaneous actions occurring. And This is not only to show solidarity, but to work on land issues in their own countries. We will also, we're trying to bring to the international media attention the Jan Satyagraha, so we'll have some live streaming and use the social media to the best of our ability to have, to bring the daily march in India to many households around the world so that they can write letters, be in solidarity, and enjoy the participation of the march without actually coming to India. We will also have groups of people coming to India to join the march, but as it is a political action, they will be observers, they will be witnessing, they will be tourists. They will not actually be participants in the march, but it gives them an opportunity to see some of the nonviolent action that is going on here. And finally, we're planning to have a nonviolent meeting of nonviolent scholars who study and promote nonviolence in late September in order to show how important the use of nonviolence is in social movements and in very conflictual issues like land, so that people can engage in that in their different struggles in different parts of the world.